Hey, what's up with it once again, ladies and gentlemen, bros, women, fanboys, and fangirls, as always. Otakus and Nikki commodities everyone else in between, as always. Nintendo Sony Free 2011 Air came MannyTendoWolverine, as always, you guys in wrestling to our channel. My Twitter, Instagram, BShoot, Brighteon, Rumble Odyssey, Parlor, Telegram, and other social media platforms, as always, you guys can think of. Keep saying as always a lot, and I swear to God, I'm not sponsored by these fools, but my God, if I was, this video would definitely be sponsored by sweet and salty freaking cashew almond bars, man. Freaking one of the greatest things God's green earth has ever created. Man. I'm just saying. I've always been a sucker for cashews and almonds. I don't know why. They're like my they're my hardcore addiction of food. If there was food prawn out there, it would be almonds for me. That and cashews. Absolute God tier level granola bars. I know if I had a tier list, I'd probably be like number 4 or 5. Wouldn't be number 1. But anyways, let's get into main meat and potatoes. Actually, this was like an older tweet from 2 days ago. I'll leave the link down below if you want to read this. This is like a Reddit 4chan 8chan post. It says, Among Us developers speaks out against Epic Games in Fortnite imposter mode in a small tweet. So I'll leave that on VGR.com. We got our credit card is due for them. I would have read it on this video, but it would have been a waste of too much memory space. So it says, Escapist Magazine. I don't know who the person was that made this. Oh, Chris McCullen. McCullen. So let's begin. So it says, new Fortnite imposters mode. Is a game equivalent to those kicking off an action figure set as in the discount stores. Sure, at first glance is the Avengers, but then he noticed Batman. This is like 4 or 5 days ago. I know it's like almost a week old, but I still want to talk about it. Shoved it in there. I talked about this kind of before, but I didn't read it from Escapist Magazine. It's like a little bit of an update here, I guess. Paintings is so poor, like Captain America's helmet emerging with his flesh and going around their agonized expressions. Never heard of that one. So it says, every other Earth's mightiest heroes is begging for a sweet release of DATH. Epic Games has previously been accused of borrowing other people's work from dance moves the entire game. Yeah, back in 2018, 2019, when it blew out in popularity, it was real huge, especially the whole one, Carlton and the dude from Scrubs. I remember that. I think it was like 2018 or 19 when that happened. Almost 3 years ago now, or 3.5 years. But no one was really expecting it to be so blatantly to copy Among Us, aka the whole sus thing. The whole sus and the drip thing and shit like that. But let's move on. At least all developers in Innersloth. The co-founder Marcus Bromander slated said, "We didn't play Among Us mechanics. We didn't patent the Among Us mechanics. I don't think that leads us to a healthy gaming industry. Is it really hard to put 10% or more? Oh, 10% or more in the effort putting into your own spin-off, though." Unquote. Also goes on to say, yes, Among Us find the trader concept is shared by several other cards brought aboard in party games. But Innersloth, if I'm saying that right, uses as a foundation for something special. Epic, on the other hand, has literally named its new mode Among Us antagonist. And it only gets more blatant from there on out. Hiding killers, checks, defenses and crewmates, or agents. Of course it'd be agents. Check emergency meetings, check long and short tasks, sabotage, voting people to their deaths, checks, dead players roaming around, specters, aka ghosts, check. So there's that. And Innersloth's Gary Porter has pointed out the insultingly similarly Among Us. Wow. Among Us is sked. Imposter does the Fortnite lore, but that's really enough just to satisfy the existence. Unlike that, the shoddy superhero, the Fortnite imposters, doesn't stand up to scrutiny. Sure, most of the Among Us constituents parts are there, but hopefully I'm saying this right, but they're haphazardly assembled. The imposters can barely stand up to its own 2 feet. It may not be in danger of choking a toddler, but playtesting should at least reveal its own legs here. And I'm just going to skip those two. You guys can read that on your own. When the emails start, you can count on a good 2 minutes of spamming gets swivelly before they start tackling their tasks. Do I begrudge people for messing around like this? Not really. As Fortnite's whole economy is based on players' purchases, and I know I spent real money on an emote skin, I'd sorely be tempted to show it off now. And it also goes on to say, but Epic doesn't seem to have given any thought to the way the imposters would or wouldn't gel into Fortnite's culture and player base. Of course, a lot of little ass kids and dumbass teenager idiots are playing it. Not every single one, anyway. If I do have any teenagers watching me, Some of you guys are one of the smartest, incredible mother effers in the world. Also goes on to say da-da-da-da. Oh, this is the one that really gets salty here. I'm not reading this whole thing. You guys can read it on your own. Imposters do have a couple new features the absent Among Us, and one of them is actually pretty decent. The ability for the imposters randomly teleports players around the map in a good way by bypassing a bunch of sometimes sometimes occur past the Among Us halfway points when the players start crowding together for their lives. But the other feature of the ability turns everyone into bananas. Feels like it's been a dream by Red Bull fueled by a 5-year-old. It also subs chaos, and it's entertaining the first time it happens. Will seriously risk our unbalance in the game. And I guess it's the other stuff here too. Fortnite has a lot going on for it. Just to pull off a few other financial abilities, should say financial abilities, I don't know why, and otherwise to get major stars performing, obviously, concerts in their mind-blowing games. Some even have labeled most of the important video games currently in existence, such as Dr. Funk. I've never heard of that before. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I lost my fucking ability. Hold on. Where was I at? No. While Fortnite is heavily inspired by playing one Oh, no, there it was. To get major stats, important video games currently existent. A significant chunk of Fortnite's success certainly comes from Epic's ability to identify properties that appeal to core audiences, even licensing others duplicates for them. While Fortnite been, here it is, heavily inspired by PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Epic did at least add its own distinctive spin, but the imposters as an exercise is missing out on the point. Of course, there are other Among Us knockoffs on Steam. I didn't know that. That's brand new to me. I'm going to sound like a boomer when I say it, but that's true. But let's move on. But imposters from a company with more money than God, Epic saw the popular Among Us was decided that it wanted to take on this action without any real understanding of what Among Us was appealing to. Epic Games has delivered superficial, charmless, and ethically questionable information about a better game. Fortnite's imposters couldn't be more sus if it tried. Of course, he's going to put that sus meme in there. Yeah, overall thoughts, and opinions Epic Games is, like I said, that Tim Sweeney dude is like cancer to the freaking internet. My personal opinion is cancer and is a tumor to the fucking internet gaming industry business. He's full of shit and he's an asshole. My personal opinion. He can go fuck off on this whole company. Buying DLC cosmetics, and it's just it's so fucking lifeless. It's a hollow shell of what it should have been. But let's get on to this next one here. I really want to get into it. So let's get into some more different music. So it says GuiltyGear Strive. This came from like a day ago. It's like almost 2 days ago now, really. Because I saw a bunch of other videos on it too. I know this came out like 5 days ago with Twitter trending. It was like, oh, the butt position. She puts her ass in the air, like she's shaking it real hard and everything. I'm not gonna lie, it is funny. I looked at a bunch of freaking tweets on this girl, Jacko. So it says this comes from Seth Warren from The Gamer. Jacko's officially second fighter at GuiltyGear Strive, the first season, and quite an overhaul from previous games. Here's why. Okay, so it goes on to say GuiltyGear Strive. First balancing the patch through many of the quality of life changes with some tweaks to the characters who don't need them. However, alongside the patch came the second DLC character for the game's first season, Jacko. I like calling her Jacko instead of Jacko. So this is, well, Jacko's isn't a brand of fighting, isn't a brand new fighter. Oh, she's old? She's been around for a while. I didn't know that. And the cast of GuiltyGear like Goldwist Lewis Dickerson. That's a weird last name to put a man's genitals like that as your last name. It's creepy. Let's move on. She saw a massive overhaul of her overall skill set and moves list as a whole, making her feel a little bit different than the other. I totally forgot to put the music on. Feel a different fundamental way. Jacko still has robot servants who do most of her bidding, but she controls her attacks in a much larger degree, now making a fantastic rework. Managing the servant's gauge. Oh, I didn't want to go that far. Jacko's servant's gauge is a unique mechanic that enables her to deploy servants in order for them to attack and defend, and even command them to explode. After a short countdown, although Jacko's can attack on her own, most of her playstyle revolves around her servants, so managing the servants of the gauge is essential within her existence. Also goes on to say, the servant's gauge reveals passively, but if Jack goes for Calzer's... Oh, she said charger electric lightning beam character, I guess. Let's continue. For Calzer's servants, on activities of, quote, cheer servant on and overdrive the gauge, will recover much faster than the average. Since Jacko's thrives off monumentum and pressure, she must have servants out at all times, and then and set them up in a way to capitalize on the opponent's weaknesses, keeping them pinned down or constantly guessing. You can only have 3 servants at a given time, and that you don't necessarily need to have them out there. Again, managing your servants' gauge is the most crucial task for Jacko, so you don't want to expend it by summoning all of your servants. Due to Jacko's unique playstyle, I'm not reading this whole thing, I'm only reading half of it. Jacko's unique playstyle and robot minions, she possesses a significant threat from just about every other range, but thrives the most in close and mid-range encounters. She can create a conga line of servants for incredible poke potential and punish the opposition on knockdown with them all while she remains a safe distance for opponents to herself. Winning the neutral game on Jacko's top priority. Of course it is. Top priority. I lost my freak. I keep losing my goddamn freaking area. I don't know why. Warranted neutral game is top priority, which allows her to get more servants out and maintain control. All Jacko needs to do is get it 1 million in methods and keep the enemy back and getting incredibly close with them. While that method of Jacko's has hurled the servants of the opposition, kick it at them, or merely is a decoy. To get in close for a grab knockdown is all viable options. Knockdown on the opposition down will buy you more than enough for Jacko's time to start up her offenses. The servants will keep knocking her opponent to knock down, guessing on what's coming next. Defend yourself. Yeah, so overall thoughts in a minute. I didn't watch any of the trailer last week. I think it was Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday last week when it came out. I had no idea this was even a thing till Twitter. I think it was Thursday or Friday last week. And then all these freaking OnlyFans chicks, even though that's probably going to be over September 1st. Actually, no. October 1st, if that ever comes to an end, which I doubt it, because they were backpedaling on their fucking statements from before. I'm glad they freaking were, too. Because they were asshole pieces of shit for not, destroying some of these girls' careers. I saw a lot of real good cosplay for Jacko, and it looks really good. So, yeah, let's get on to the last piece of weird-ass news here. Super creepy news. Because, it shows that Google artificial intelligence. Oh, man. It is freaking crazy. So, let's get it started. Hopefully we can get it started. Hold on. Okay, so I'm going to have to go through this one really super fucking fast. So it says, random. Feast your eyes on a horror that is Street Fighter stars rendered by Flesh by Google Artificial Intelligence. Fangs is the nightmares. So, real quick, I don't know who this comes from. PJ O'Reilly. Never heard of him, but I've heard about the other people. I'll leave the links to the pictures down below if these don't pop out in a minute. Street Fighter's iconic leading man Ryu has appeared in various slightly altered states for losing his over-illusion video games career from his original redhead from 1987, Street Fighter 2. I didn't know he had red hair. I thought it was black and brunette. Classic variants, Fortnite's shiny cartoon character model has a recent appearance in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which I was old. That's 2018 that happened. 2017, I don't know. Actually, no, 2015. It was reported by VG247. Twitter user Siberian644, got a credit to him, has used Google AI to recreate the endless challengers and a bunch of his Street Fighter pals, with the result of turning out, well, have you had your tea yet? Let's take a look. So Ryu and Nikali are both looking a little bit worse than before. A wee bit like they might have been hit by a car after a few days. Ryu and Nikali have been looking at Alright, Laura's actually turned out really well. It's totally recognizable and doesn't appear that she's recovering from a very long weekend. Both Cammy and Barlog are doing fine. Anything Barlog looks like he's de-aged or maybe drank an entire bottle of what? Molly Sewer. And yeah, so it says, which your Street Fighters or Flesh made your favorites? Let us know down below. Yeah, so overall thoughts, views, and opinions. Some of that shit was creepy as hell. It made a very uncanny valley. At least I can show you one of them, because one of them was freaking gorgeous as hell. And it's Laura. A really beautiful hot Brazilian chick. Pretty sexiest girl ever. And the Street Fighter thing. That's Cammy and Chun-Li. Probably the third, maybe. That's all I gotta say for now. I'm out of here. Peace out once again, ladies and gentlemen, bros, women, fanboys, and fangirls, as always. Talk is unique. I'll see you guys. Good day, have a good night, wherever universe out there. This is your account. Channel video game industry news, manga news, internet news, Switch to drama news, internet news, and reaction videos. Peace.